Cash Daddies, Cash Daddies, Cash Daddies, Cash Daddies,
Cash Daddies is for entertainment purposes only. You'd be an idiot to listen to anything these degenerates say. Invest at your own risk, do research, but seriously don't listen to these ass clowns. Now enjoy Cash Daddies.
All right. Oh, I cut it short. Johnny's going to be pissed. Guys, welcome to Cash Daddies. We're banking fatties. The boys are back. Sorry about last week. Just schedules got crazy. We couldn't do it. But, you know, we're back at it in a crazy time. How are you recovering from the Knicks loss?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Are you okay?
It is what it is.
You went kind of
We had a
radio
good
silent
year.
there for a while.
What are you going to do, man? It was painful.
Don't kill yourself.
No.
It was painful, but you know, it was going to be really hard to win that sixth game. And the Pacers are good. Let's face it.
Not the finals I would have picked by any stretch, so like at the beginning of the year or in the middle of the year. Surprising to me, at least.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy because like already the sports people are crapping all over the finals, and it's just like
really?
These are two great teams. If there's anyone to blame for nobody wanting to watch this finals, it is the media for constantly talking about the Lakers and never talking about OKC or never talking about Indiana.
That's your job, to sell the sport.
Yeah, it's just like so everyone's chasing ratings, so we only think they only want to talk about LeBron and the Lakers. And it's like garbage. I think it's going to be a great finals. I do think OKC is going to blow them out, but I do think it's the two best teams going at it. Okay. So what's going on, guys? Real quick, if you love Cash Daddies and you want to get in it to win it, there's one place where the bangers go, and that is the Cash Daddies Patreon. Cash Daddies Patreon. Howie Dewey is dropping mad hammers on Howie's homies. And I'm going to tell you something. Dude, Howie's told me a bunch of picks. I took some cash over the weekend. I'm feeling good. And I'm telling you, it's worth the $20 a month, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So, Howie, great job.
Yeah, we look, I was wrong with my volume. We crushed since January, and I will tell you this, we're in June right now, and we just finished up. May was the worst trading month I've had since I think 2017. Overall.
And he still crushed it.
I mean, it was just a shitty damn month. You know, I talked to a bunch of my buddies on Wall Street. They said the same thing. It's basically that was a month as far as navigating a lot of these external factors. Things, you know, when things looked like they were going to come back, they didn't. Nothing made sense. I don't know. I'm not making excuses.
Welcome to the Trump administration.
That's what I told the patrons. I said, June's going to be, I don't care if the market goes down. June's going to be the best month we've had. We bought some Uber calls on Friday, bought them under 83. They're up above 84. Still looking for Carvana to drop because the thing is so beyond overbought and overvalued here. I still think we'll have a one-day situation where it drops 15, 20 points. But we're looking at some good things, man. We got some good, solid buys coming out this week on a couple things. So June's going to be a good month. There's no doubt. It's going to be. It has to be. It's got to be a good month.
It's got to be. Why not? Let's get into it. And how's the degenerate gamblers doing? How's
a good month? And I'm pretty sure it's going to be. You know, May just was the weirdest. I remember, and I went back through my books, and I had a month in May. No, it was in April 2017. It was I think I was like 1 for 6. It was terrible. Yeah, degenerate gamblers. We got the Belmont coming up Saturday. Big horse race. I'll be podding tomorrow with Frank Lyons from Fox Sports, who'll be over there doing horse racing all week. He's coming on the show. This Belmont race, the biggest one in years. You got sovereignty versus journalism, man. It's gonna be a big race.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm actually rooting for a horse called Rodriguez. He's a Mexican horse. I don't know if he is.
El Magical used to have a funny joke about anytime you put the word Mexican in front of something, it's just crap. Like outside of Mexican Coke, Mexican circus, Mexican weed, Mexican horse.
Well, I hope he's not, because
is it one of those Tijuana zebra horses?
No, man. This dude Rodriguez he had the same same, what's the word, Johnny? Jesus.
Johnny, why don't you
Sire?
Can you
Sire?
talk?
Sire. He had the same sire, because I get yelled at whenever I say his father. He had the same sire as Rodriguez, the horse that we just made a little investment in.
Oh, you threw some money into a horse?
Yeah, I'm broke.
I saw it. Good looking horse.
Yeah, he's a good looking horse. He's a 2-year-old. Owned by a friend of mine who actually lives in Irvine, California, but we're both from the same town, Hoosick Falls. So we named the horse Hoosick Falls.
Nice.
That's the horse's name, man. And he will race at Saratoga in a 2-year-old maiden special weight, try to get a win here, which is the hardest race course in America, in the world, to break your maiden. So knock on wood, I just want him to stay healthy. I was overfeeding him carrots at 4:30 in the morning Saturday. He breathed a little 3 furlongs, and we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Dude.
Very cool.
I'm
Johnny,
excited to watch horse
some
racing this weekend. And we're going to kick some ass on the Patreon this week, because I got a couple things I'm looking at that I feel really good about.
Well, I love it. Johnny, so what are some stories that we got?
Well, I just, leading Fox business right now is Scott Bessent saying that the U.S. is, quote, never going to default on government debt.
Oh.
Now, I'm just curious what you guys think about this, because he seems to be now, even though he's supposed to be a more right wing, on the side of these people that think that the government just can never have enough debt and will never default on it. What do you because to me that's insanity. That's truly insane. What do you think of that, guys?
Okay, you're muted again, Howie. See, when the little microphone has an arrow through it, that means you're muted. Okay,
You
Dad?
know why he made that statement? He made that statement because Jamie Dimon came out and said the opposite. Jamie Dimon came out and said, we're going to have a major situation with our bonds, with our debt. And Dimon came out the other day, and that's the first time I've really heard him just trash the administration. He hasn't done
He had a lot to say. He had a
lot to say, man. He came out and he ripped.
What did he say?
I can pull it.
The first thing he said, if we stick with Trump's agenda right now, he said, we're going to push the rest of the U.S. allies towards China. And
I don't know if I believe that.
You may say, nah, I don't know about that. But let me tell you, let me give you a fact.
I don't know about that.
I'll give you a fact.
Hold on. I can't hear it. Do you want to play the video, Johnny?
No, it's auto. It's fucking auto playing on Fox Business. Why are you hearing that from me? That's weird.
I took him off. He was just annoying me for a second. Bring him back. There we go. Sorry, Johnny.
I don't understand how that was coming from me. I don't.
I'm going to tell you.
It wasn't me.
You talk to Jamie Dimon. You talk to a lot of these guys, and there's, you can't just say, you got to have factual information. I'll give you a fact.
Fun facts. Well, how are you doing?
2018, China exported 18% of all their goods to the U.S. Right now, even before the tariffs, right before Trump took over, they exported only 14%. So here's what Dimon's talking about. in the past 3 months, I should keep my fucking. I can't help it, man. This
You
is
look
what the
good,
lid's
buddy.
doing today.
That looks good, dude. You're blessed with a fucking full head of hair, dude.
This is it.
Wait,
And
this might
this
Rick-
spot,
nobody
I
listening
don't
knows
know
what
what the fuck
happened.
that is. That's
So
a,
everyone thinks that Howie Dewey looks like one of the monsters because he has a gray streak in his hair, which looks like the mom.
yeah.
You
some
look great,
asshole-
though, dude.
Some asshole wrote in. He's like, I can't believe you're what's it called, tinting or something,
Oh, highlighted.
Tips.
dude.
highlight,
This is hereditary. This is hereditary. I was fucking born with that. It's I don't know. The doctor originally thought it was something wrong with my heart, but
Yeah,
What?
it's cold. It's black.
everybody in my family's got it. My
Wait,
grandma,
so
my
your
grandmother
hair
had
can
one
show
on her
something
bush.
wrong with your heart? I didn't know that. Wow.
You know,
Fun facts.
fun facts. No, I think my heart's good. They just thought it could be. I don't know. My
Well,
heart
I don't
probably
know.
isn't good.
You got a lot of hands, and it's probably jam right now. You got jam for blood.
No, what this is right now is literally in the 80s. I did so much blow that literally it just
Yeah.
stuck through my hair follicles.
Yeah, you could
It
chop
never
it up
went
and
away.
start your hair. That's great.
You're
Go on
Gandalf-
what
you're
you were
Gandalf
saying.
After he died and came back, you became Gandalf the White. Is that what you
That's
are?
what it
You
was.
did so much coke that you became
Yeah.
a different kind of wizard. That's great. Wow.
Just went right up to the right here, right to the
I
hair.
like that. That's good.
I don't know what it is. It's been
So
there
let's go back
forever,
to this Jamie Dimon thing.
though. So listen. So Diamond is saying this. He's saying Trump's agenda is going to push U.S. allies towards China. And fucking, I'm sorry, it's already happening, man. Dude, China, they're getting all their beef right now from Australia. They're getting their oil and gas from Russia. They're getting their soybeans now from Brazil. And I just listened to the dude. I never watched CNBC because I read an article in Barron's that was saying the same shit. And it was Jamie Dimon. Jamie Dimon said, I'll let you on a little secret. China's not afraid of us. He said they're not afraid of us. He said those people can go on struggling a lot longer than we can.
Well, it's
So-
because we should be clear about this. It's because their government doesn't give a shit.
Yes.
If the people struggle over there.
Yes.
To be clear.
Yeah, you're right, Johnny. That's exactly why. But they have resolve. They'll sit there, they'll watch 30 million people starve. They don't give a fuck, but they're not going to sit and take a deal, any kind of a deal. They don't give a shit about Trump or anyone, whoever else is president here. I mean, that's been that way for how many hundreds of years since we've been around?
Yeah. I don't know if that situation, what is happening now, is ideal for anybody. China doesn't prefer it.
No.
Australia doesn't. I mean, Australia's probably enjoying it for temporarily anyway. But I think, I mean, we saw the report today that Trump and Xi are expected to meet sometime soon to try to kind of get their arms around this thing. But I mean, Dimon, you're right. I mean, he was kind of like trying to scare people a little bit. He talked about tectonic plates shifting, and that he said geopolitics with these terrible wars, terrible proxy terrorist activity around the world, North Korea, the potential of proliferation of nuclear weapons over time, which is the greatest threat to mankind. He said the most important thing, and this is just to me bullshit, is to maintain those military alliances. Spend whatever you've got to spend to have the strongest military in the world. Keep the Western military alliances together. If the world cannot rely on America's military umbrella, they are going to be looking for alternatives. There's only one other real alternative out there, or getting a nuclear weapon. And then he went on to say that we should be stocking up on guns and arms.
Well, let me ask. I'd love if I was there. I would have said, "So, Jamie, at what point in our history have we not done that?"
Well, before the world wars, I would say, we tried it, but
Yeah, I guess before World War I, you could say.
and then Roosevelt kind of got elected on that.
But we kind of started stocking up when around 1772, 1773. Isn't that kind of
yeah, I see what you're saying.
kind of when it started?
But are you listening, Sam? Don't you think?
Yeah.
That's
Well, my feelings on China. I think.
no, this idea that we need to keep all these aging
Listen,
military
when
alliances.
you see people in the comments right now, they're like, the empire's fallen. Dude, there have been empires before, and we can get into whether they morphed into something else. That's fine. There's the British Empire, the French were an empire, the Persian Empire, the Turkish Empire, all these empires.
Rome
okay?
lasted forever.
Rome is still going, but
I mean, the Roman Empire. Come on.
that's the Vatican. But
So
the point
Mussolini
is
now.
this, dude, is like they're still there. When people talk about an empire, to me, it's what Trump is talking about. Us having military might over everybody. And if it means that the empire falls and that goes away, I'm fucking fine with that. Okay? I'm just going to tell you that. There's this, and this is where I'm going to lose probably Howie or maybe probably not people in the chat, but like this notion that we have to spend 50 cents on a dollar on our military when we're overspending the rest of the world combined is absolutely ridiculous to me.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with that. I think that's insane.
So when people like the empire's falling, well, what it is like U.S. international corporations dominance over everything. And I'm okay with that. That's just my opinion.
But also, I mean, he's talking about like presumably NATO and the UN and like reinforcing those ties and everything. But NATO is why there's a war in Ukraine right now because of the
And he
precedent
keeps
we
talking
set
about
with
getting
NATO.
out of NATO. He keeps talking about getting out of NATO. And now he's like, we got to fortify it. You're like, no, dude, get out. Get out.
So
Well-
I mean, and then you talk, what is it when Jamie Dimon talks about buying literally guns? I don't know if he's paying
What does
any
he want us
attention
to load up? I'm down. Fine, Jamie, I'll invest.
Well, he's talking about the country, it seemed like, but I don't know if he's watching anything that's happening in Ukraine right now because guns ain't doing much, dude. It's all drones. Have you seen the latest drones now? Because they keep creating tools to kill their enemy, and then there's countermeasures. There's like a technology race going on in that war right now. And the latest thing, because they figured out ways to jam drones as they're coming in, is to have a drone literally connected by a fiber optic cable that goes like 20 kilometers.
So it's like
on a
insects
fishing
having
line.
sex, basically.
Explain that.
When insects have sex, they're kind of
Oh,
flying.
insects.
And they
Yes, exactly. But much longer than that, like 20 kilometers, dude, like 20 miles, 15 miles of just fish line that goes out, and they're unjammable. So these guys thinking they're, can use their countermeasures are just getting destroyed, blown up. And that's the very latest as of like a month ago. And Ukraine's trying to match it, apparently.
Do you see so we got all these videos of the Ukraine sending drones to go destroy a human being, which is such a weird thing. Like
Russia does the same thing.
right. Dude, listen, I'm not on nobody's side over there. I do think the US and NATO has caused aggression over there, and that's why we're where we're at.
No excuse for invasion.
No.
I could go deep on that, but that's a different show. But
Well, no, I'm just against war in all forms.
I am against war. I'm against all war. I hate war. War is a moneymaker, and that's the only reason we do it. Okay.
It's a moneymaker for us, not really a moneymaker for Russia. I mean, they're going bankrupt right now.
But
And, dude, the people they're capturing now, one of the guys they captured was like a 55-year-old welder who's deaf, and they put him out on the front lines out there as part of an invasion force. They're scraping the bottom. They're all prisoners, ex-cons. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel now, dude.
It's not working out for either country. I mean, it's like, come on.
I think some of that's propaganda from Ukraine, probably, but it seems dire. They've got to bring this thing in for a landing.
Yeah, I agree. And war's no good. But I do think
hold on real
Diamond has
quick.
a
I just
point
want to
with our
finish that thought.
treasuries.
Real
And if
quick,
our
2
bond
seconds.
market takes a hit, it just points us towards a possibility of more stagflation, interest rates going up. I think eventually we'll see it. GDP dropping. And I will say this, China right now, if you look at China over the past 6 months, their GDP is actually, I think, was double ours. They seem to be bouncing back here. Not that, knock on wood, if our market our markets can stay just the way they are right now, we'll be okay.
Let's
we'll
be
all right.
real. If NATO never expanded so far, we wouldn't have this problem. I agree.
Yeah, that's
dude.
what I just said.
Yeah,
But
can't disagree with that.
I also think there's ethnic cleansing going on, but that's a whole different discussion. Yeah, I think I think it's a big part of that whole thing. So,
But that's
clearing it
that's
out.
where it is right now. I mean, China's literally developed, and where Dimon was correct when he said this whole agenda is pushing our U.S. allies towards China. That's a fact. That's happening right now. I mean, Australia's selling them all the beef. They're getting oil and energy from Russia and other places. Soybeans and everything else come from South America.
So
I mean,
I recently heard, Howie, that so the whole thing was that China was stepping in from the U.S. and the U.S. would give countries loans with the understanding that they wouldn't have to pay them back, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What is that sound?
So is Frankenstein being created?
dude, my neighbor, this lazy, all days he starts cutting his bushes right next to the car. You had all day to do that.
So the discussion now is, Howie, that and Johnny, that the China is now looking to, because China stepped in and started giving them money, but they were loans that they were going to have to pay back. And word is now they're looking to recoup their money, and these countries aren't going to be able to pay it back. So now you're going to start seeing the reaping of the resources.
They've done it already in Africa, comprehensively, just taking over ports at many of the most highly trafficked transit points in around Africa. China now owns those ports from that exact scheme. It's alive. It's crazy.
I can see this guy. I'm about
Is the
to.
window open or closed?
No, it's closed.
Okay.
He's got this high-powered. There's something wrong with him. This is my neighbor who literally, the first day you ever bought this house, I drove up past the carport and he came running over. It was like, you can't park there. And I was like, who the fuck are you? And yeah, almost swung on the guy like the first time I ever met him. I just ready to kill this guy. And he came over.
I had an Asian guy come after me one time. I was walking my dog near the studio that we have for the Team Full Hat. And he just saw my dog walking on his lawn. He's like, get dog off lawn. I'm like, fuck you. She's just walking. He ran in and got like a bat. And I'm like, dog, I'm going to take that bat from you and fucking fuck you up, dude.
Yeah, until he starts doing some Jackie Chan shit. Next thing you know,
I'll fucking beat him with a bat as he does Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I'll tell you that right now.
Next you know, your little pug fucking Oscar is being cooked on medium.
It's Roger.
Roger. That's right, it's Roger. Next you know, he's cooking Roger for a family of 8.
Yeah.
It's funny. Respect
They'll
for
do
Kung
that.
Fu is at an all-time low right now.
Oh,
I have to
dude, in
say.
China, it's getting murked. So let's get into the big story, guys. The big story, which I'm dying to hear Howie's take on it. Should be interesting. Trump has tapped Palantir to form basically the Matrix at this point.
Yeah, it's called they got a
Stargate.
name. It's literally called Foundry.
Is it
It's
called Foundry?
Foundry. Collect all data on all Americans. Yeah, that's not a violation of the 4th Amendment.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
I mean, so what's the difference between this guy and Biden? What's the difference? Because Biden was trying to do the same shit.
Well, because that's what they do. They go back and forth, depending
They're
on what
all
people.
together, man. They're all together. They're all in it together. It's one big group, man. I mean, yeah. So how much money did Trump get in Bitcoin from Palantir for this? You see the size of this contract?
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
Yeah, it was massive. Well, hold on. I'm trying to find New York Times is paywall.
They're going to use Palantir to get all of our information, health records, Social Security.
How are we not China? How does that not make us China?
Oh, it is. It is.
Exactly.
I mean, and here's the big thing. They already have it.
I mean, you
Yeah,
got
the issue is them parsing it, though, sorting through it.
Yeah,
And
I'm with you on that.
that's the big thing that this is going to help with employing AI in it, because they will be able to ask it, plain English phrases and be like, hey, what was Johnny Woodard doing in December of 2023 and why was it jerking off? You know what I mean? Like, they will have that instantly like come up, rather than having to, go through file systems and all this shit and call up data from some server across the country. It's and that's the scariest part, is that at any TSA agent's fingertips, will be what you were doing on the internet 3 weeks ago when they decide whether to let you into the country, that kind of thing. It's creepy. Back into the country, rather, if you've left.
Howie, why were you looking at Arab porn before you came over to Singapore? Just get ready. Get ready.
The New York Times reports that, this is from the New Republic, because the New York Times has a paywall. The New York Times reports that President Trump has enlisted the firm founded by far-right billionaire Peter Thiel to carry out his March executive order instructing government agencies to share data with each other. The order has increased fears that the government is putting together a database to wield surveillance powers over the American public. Since then, the administration has been very quiet about these efforts, increasing suspicion. Meanwhile, Palantir has taken more than $113 million in government spending since Trump took office, both from existing contracts and new ones with the Department of Defense and Homeland Security. That number is expected to grow, especially given that the firm just won a new almost $800 million contract with the DoD last week. So they're just throwing money at Palantir, huh?
Yeah, I mean, at some point that drops back. Might have to buy some calls on that, baby.
That's what I was about to say. What?
I mean, if they're getting, if they're getting me jerking off at 4 a.m, I mean, I might have to invest in them.
Yeah, what, they break into your house? You're like, I'm a shareholder.
You guys, come on! I love you guys. I have no problem. It's just a blow up doll. She's not real. It's okay. Fuck.
What were you doing to your blow up doll?
Yeah, what are you, Drew Carey?
I've never had a blow up doll. But I think they're pretty.
Drew Carey was known for having real dolls.
You told me that on BS, and I just know by whom.
It was stories that were out. He had a bunch of them. When that was a big story, people were talking about these real dolls and biological women were in trouble.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this says, I remember seeing something. This is from Reddit. I remember seeing something. Take it for what it's worth. I remember seeing something on TV where Drew Carey was talking about owning all these full-size, realistic dolls.
That's fucking creepy. That's creepy. That's as creepy as it gets.
I always loved Drew Carey though, and dude, that show, maybe the top 5 sitcom of the 90s. You can't get it. You can only get the first season on DVD. And then nothing else. It's not available anywhere because it has so much music in it. Drew Carey said that they can't get the rights cleared to get it released. So it's
like
one of
everybody else, though.
Nobody can watch it.
He's like every other comedian that was great when he was fat, and then he got skinny, and guess what? You're not funny anymore.
Well, he used to be. I mean, he used to be a true libertarian, and he seemed to have strayed a little bit from that.
Yeah, big TV money will do that to you. And I know he had big TV money before, but there's something about being on The Price is Right. You're deep in it. I mean, Bob Barker was like supplying all the prisons with everything: food, clothes, shoes.
They called him Oral Bob up in Sing Sing.
Yeah, for sure. Mouthing people.
Yeah, that's what Bob Barker was all about, man. That's why he lived so long.
Yeah, Drew Carey's crushing it now. I'd love to see who his girlfriend is. Some 10 Instagram model who's just going to destroy her bloodline having that guy's kids.
Wait, do they have a complete series of Drew Carey? Oh, it might have just come out in May. Oh, please let that be true. I can't tell you guys how much I adored that show. That show got me through like middle school, man. So
hey,
fun.
You want a quick fact, Sam? The United States, how many countries do you think we actively trade with?
200.
50. The United States trades with 50 countries. China trades with 150. That's interesting. I mean, that's the stat that came out today. 150 countries. I know they got a lot more people, so but we only trade with like 50 countries.
Now, does that mean we have two-sided trading or any trading of any kind at all?
I mean, a lot of that is, look, our continent, we have the most amount of natural resources in the world. I mean, we don't need a lot of shit. A lot of it.
It's
Yeah.
very
Right.
weird that China has none. Like they have to import all their shit. Look how big China is. Are you telling me
Oh,
that
they-
area has nothing?
They have minerals. They have good minerals.
They have no oil in that giant ass country of theirs?
You think
in
they have a little oil, wouldn't you?
I think maybe just a little in the west, the far west. If I'm not
I don't
mistaken.
know.
Not much.
Yeah.
Get most of it from Russia, right?
Yeah, most of it. Net gas and oil from Russia, sure. You know, all their food, soybeans and shit come from South America. Yeah, they get their beef now from Australia. I mean, that's what one of the guys said today. One of the analysts, he said, "Look, man," he goes, "truthfully, these tariffs, this trade war, it's going to hurt us more than them because it's China." You know?
Well, what do you mean by hurt though? Because some people are going to suffer there.
Yeah.
Well,
suffer,
and
but-
there's a lot of talk about what's really going on in China. I mean, we've talked about on my other shows, like there's a real possibility that they are fudging a lot of numbers.
Probably they are. They probably are. But I don't think things are as bad. I don't think things are as bad as people think. I mean, companies are thriving over there.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of companies not thriving, this caught my eye from CNBC. More office space is being removed than added for the first time in at least 25 years. Isn't that interesting? After several years of deep distress, the beleaguered U.S. office market has reached an inflection point. This year, office conversions and demolitions will exceed new construction for the first time in at least 25 years. Simply put, more office space is being removed than added, shrinking the overall office footprint. Now, I would have thought that would have been during
COVID.
the pandemic, right? When everybody was working from home. But it sounds like not just now for the first time.
Well, the problem, Johnny, is
mean?
that a lot of these companies, when they saw that their productivity actually went up, either went sideways or up, when people started working at home because you don't have to commute, you can save time with that. I mean, I think that's a lot of it. I mean, a lot of people they haven't gone back to the office.
Do you think that? I just don't buy. Do you buy that people are more productive at home? Because I just don't.
I think, ones that have to have budgets to make or have sales expectations. I think they are. Because look, you can get up if you're home. You can get up 5 a.m, get a quick workout, drink some coffee, make some breakfast, and bang, you're working at 7:30, 8 o'clock versus getting on that train at 8, getting to work at 9.
Yeah, but do you think that's what most people do, or most people sleep until like 11 and keep put their phone on silent?
I think it depends on your job description. If you're a VP and you got 50, 100 people under you, that'd be a tough one to do.
Because I know
I think the biggest problem we're going to see is once again, this is the isolation of people and the death of downtowns. I go on the road all the time, guys. It is a zombie apocalypse in these like mid-major cities.
Yeah.
Like Tacoma, downtown is empty, dude. Downtown is empty. And
downtown
Louisville,
LA is empty in many neighborhoods. Like many parts of downtown LA are just ghost town.
Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. Please.
Downtown New
Thank
York
you,
City.
Logan Sorter. Logan's crushing it today.
Crushing.
Logan's like our co-host right now. Yeah, dude. I mean, and then we're getting into people, Amazon, they're doing all their shopping online. Nobody's leaving their houses.
Well, and then throw in a little thing called AI. They're saying that basically all data entry level positions, which there's hundreds of thousands of those, are gone. It's over. They're saying AI is taking all those jobs.
It's so crazy because all I hear right now on the internet is like computer programming skills. Become a computer programmer. You're like, dude, those jobs are gone.
Dude, I realized the other day, because I've always hated Excel, and you have to you come across it sometimes. Howie, I know you had to use Excel, and now you can just take, like, I had a document where I had a bunch of just expenses and stuff for the new studio, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna have to put this all in Excel and add, get it all totaled up. And no, I copied and pasted the whole thing, gave it to ChatGPT, and said, hey, could you just add up everything with a dollar sign next to it in this document? A second later, it was just all totted up there with the answer at the bottom. Normally, I would have had to find all the the dollar signs and write them and enter them in the correct column. And data entry is screwed, bro, because it can format it however you want. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. There's not a field
different jobs will show up. It's just people.
I don't think so. I think that this is an apocalypse of jobs. Like, it's coming. I don't think people will adapt. What do you replace data entry with? What can you do if that's your skill? Typing shit into a computer.
Typing shit into a computer to put into the AI.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you know how to do. Well, yeah, but they're not going to need people to do that, because it's just going to be fed directly to. It's going to be AIs talking to AIs.
Yeah, people are saying apocalypse is coming, and maybe that's why everybody is having less children. I don't know, man. I think maybe that the powers that be know that AI is going to come in, take a lot of the jobs, and that's why not as many humans are going to be needed. But then it gets into, are we just heading to universal basic income? Because, like, people, I don't care how big you are, you need to make money. The sad part is, like, there's Howie may not agree with this, but there's a chance that, like, the economy goes so bad that we become like the Middle East, and the only jobs available are government jobs, and in particular military mercenaries. And that's the whole Middle East. Like, everybody, ISIS, Al Qaeda, well, those are formed by the US government, but the people who join those are the people who got, like, there's no other jobs, dude. There are no other jobs than to go into.
We have a little something don't we have that right now called Army, Navy, Air Force,
that's what I'm
Marine.
saying. That, like, you go, Sam, what's the country look like in 50 years? Gangs, mobs, and militias. Gangs, mobs, militias, and you work for the government. I'm
gonna have a grandson, and he's gonna go by the name of Snake Plissken.
Yeah, there we go, dude. That's where it's going, dude. I mean, it sucks. It's going to be also, it's like, it used to be like, let's say you're in Brazil or something. The way you get out of poverty is through entertainment or the black market. I mean, what are they going to do with singers? Like, what are singers going to do?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe even comedians.
The AI
I can see you having, like, a Kurt Russell type of grandson, Howie. I could see that.
Oh, yeah.
You got the hair. He's got the hair too. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah. The kid's gonna be 14 years old, smoking cigarettes, driving helicopters, just banging one-armed hose.
Problem is, you're on the East Coast, so you have to do Escape from New York. So that's
Escape from New York.
Yeah, it's gonna be going doc. It's no longer gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a documentary on how to survive.
Yeah, it's just tape, but everybody passes around the tape for advice,
Yeah.
Either two things are going to happen. It's going to go the way Sam says, or something else is going to happen where it's just a total utopia. You go out, you play in your garden, you have a wife and 3 girlfriends, and everything's cool with that.
Yeah, that's the Star Trek future. That is the Star Trek future.
What, 3 girlfriends? That's a lot of problems.
That was that was part of it, honestly. That was
the robots. They don't talk. They just smile. And they keep their mouth open when you want it, and they close it when you want it. And,
That was always the premise of Star Trek, though, is that we got to the point where people didn't need to work and money wasn't relevant. It was just about pursuing what interested you. That was Gene Roddenberry's vision of the future, and I think it's naive at this point. But it's one of the possible futures, I suppose, is that we all explore God's creation. I'm not going to say space, but the final frontier. But we all explore God's creation together, hand in hand, as one human race.
All the people.
Hopefully, I bank a lot of fatties before that happens. Whew.
How was your week in banking?
Yeah.
How was your week with
we
that?
finished up May. It was the worst month I've had. I mean, I absolutely sucked. Finished up May, and we're into June. I think June's could possibly be the best month. I just have a feeling, looking at some of these things, June's going to be good. And that'll bring us into July. I think it'll be a good month.
So I was talking to my good friend Mike Romanelli, okay, and we were talking about how there's going to come a time where you're either going to be one of the people that own a Bitcoin or not. And if you're trying to get into the crypto game, there is no better place than our good friend James McMahon and Copy My Crypto. Listen, has it pissed you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you've still done nothing? It makes sense. Crypto is complicated and really boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto to make money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him. It's like having a big brother who knows what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing about crypto, as you simply copy along. So let me tell you more about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, has over 54,000 subscribers, and in the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over 123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick, the one he singled out called Phantom, went up 692 times from when he said bang bang pow. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify for yourself. So if you'd like to join the 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/Sam or Cash Daddies. That's copymycrypto.com/SAM. You're not only find proof of everything I've said, but our viewers will get a full access for just $1. $1. Yes, you missed out on Bitcoin, but I still think you can get in it personally. But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you've missed out on all of them? Guys, don't waste any more time. Go to the site and read it. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/Sam. It's ended money worries for so many, and it may just do the same for you. And we really do appreciate James for sponsoring the show.
Yeah, we do. Big time.
We love
my
you,
grandmother.
James. We love you. Full gay.
Bitcoin's been rocking.
Yeah, it has.
Bitcoin be a rockin'. Let's see what this guy has to say real quick. Spendley Butler III. The printing money family has spent decades designing the final system to be blanketed over the old ones anyways. U.S. knows this. They don't care, and they never cared, and debt or default. Yeah. I mean, why do we have to pay? Why do we have to pay taxes if we print money? Why?
I agree with him, man. I mean,
why?
Look, you look at this big, beautiful bill. I mean, you see where that puts us as far as the deficit. That is insane.
And I think that's why Elon partly wanted to leave, because he saw all the work that they had done at Doge just being undone by that bill. Now,
I'm glad you brought that up, Johnny. We got to talk about that because listen, and I was shitting on Elon because, I was like, why is this guy even involved? Blah, 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 blah. Look, man, he left. And in that interview the other day, he didn't sound very positive on the administration.
No.
He did not.
And then they had that weird press conference where we talked about on Broken Sin, where he's got a black eye and it's just kind of standing next to Trump. We're talking about departing. Strange.
I agree, dude.
Do you think there's any truth to like that? He was just gacked up the whole time on drugs.
Who?
Because Elon.
I for sure he's on Adderall or something.
That was the article that came out. Said he was just jacked to the hilt, man. Fucking the whole time he was in the office.
I mean, how could you?
I couldn't do it, dude. I like to sleep too much. I like to sleep.
He trades his days for nights, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't. What do you think? Because it sounds like now he's committed to just going back nose to the grindstone at work. because his companies, let's face it, especially Tesla, they need his attention badly.
And how long have we been saying that on the show? Like 3 months?
What was that story you sent us on China, Howie?
Go back and do what you do best. Run your company, get the stock price up. Your shareholders are been beyond pissed that you're in the government dicking around. And he was there what, 4 or 5 months, and nothing really got accomplished. Nothing.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think that they did some of those cuts were meaningful, especially to USAID. I mean, if you believe that wasn't more than just a dog and pony show,
Do you believe in
You think it really got cut off?
Well, I think this bill undoes a lot of it if it goes through. Yeah, unfortunately, but I think he thought that it was going to be something. Like meaningful. And was probably surprised that then this bill comes in and just adds billions of dollars on top of what he was trying to cut, to offset it essentially. So
he was not up. He was not gung ho on basically that budget. He was down on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're getting played. And this is exactly what Howie said earlier. Hey, Biden wanted to do all this. Everyone's like, no, you piece of shit. And then Trump's doing it. And I'm going to be honest with you. There's a lot of people in the indie media that are just like, well, what about Trump doing this? I see people calling Trump out all the time. It's not like, of course you're going to have your idiots out there who just, no matter what Trump does, they love him to pieces. But at the end of the day, I really do believe people are really getting sick and tired of this guy and sick and tired of everything he's doing.
Yeah, it's kind of like when we had to sit through Biden the whole time and be like, this guy doesn't even know where the fuck he is. And, and stupid spending. We had problems with immigration. And I don't know how much that's getting fixed. I was in New York, last week, went by Port Authority. There's no difference. The same amount of people are standing there were 6 months ago. So I don't know. I'd love to get some numbers on that. I do think there's less people coming in.
Well, I think, I have a suspicion that a lot of it, all the shit you're seeing where they're like splitting up mothers from their children on the streets. Did you see that video of like the NYPD grabbing some mom and her daughter sitting there like, mommy, where are you going? I think a lot of that is more a message to people who would be coming into the country. Actually doing anything.
Yeah.
But if it's effective, okay, whatever. I hope that's just all acting and not real. But don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these people who thinks that everybody gets to stay. You know what I mean? But something had to be done. There's no easy answer.
Absolutely, yeah. I
think possibly someone said crisis actors, possibly. Yeah, sure.
No, cities were getting overwhelmed with this shit, and we had to do something. But you're sitting there and you're looking at you're looking at the deficit, you're looking at these tariffs, you're looking at the trade war. Like, okay, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What we're doing? We're printing more money, just like the last guy said. And it doesn't matter who the hell's in there. We're always going to print money because the senators know it's wrong, but they can't vote against it because they won't get reelected. So it's a lose-lose. You got Rand Paul and you got the other guy who I like. I like that other libertarian, man.
What's his name? Messi.
Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey.
Massey.
I love that guy.
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody
he
does.
shoots from the hip, and he's like, "No, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong." He just tells it like it is.
They'll get him too eventually.
Oh yeah, a guy like that can never get elected.
They already got his wife.
They got Justin Amash.
What?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose, man. Morgan Stanley says the dollar is going to fall another 9%. Meanwhile, the Chinese yuan's up, strengthening. So I don't know, man.
Well, and you sent us the story too about back to Tesla that Chinese electric vehicles makers have had a really strong month of growth while Tesla was continuing their sales, just this downward spiral.
Yeah,
people are idiots.
Idiots. Do you think is Trump gonna let them be on sale here in this market? You think, Howie?
Teslas?
No.
No,
The
Chinese cars.
Chinese cars.
I mean, if they ever brought those over here, that would be the end.
Because I wonder if that's going to be
Have
like.
you seen those fucking things parallel park? It's insane. They pull up next to a car. You hit the button. The wheels.
Yeah, it's great. It's great technology that they stole from Tesla. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got all that shit from Tesla.
And dude, you know what else they do? They give you happy endings as they parallel park.
You didn't say that.
I'd buy one right now for $9,500 because that's what those things are going for.
Traffic fatalities up 100%. People just crashing. Can you imagine getting your dicks out?
Well, you know, guys, think about this. They're trying to convince us they're going to have flying cars. Just imagine driving down the 405 and just a car out of nowhere. Boom! Just right. Dude, don't tell me these things are going to get in accidents. And don't tell me these things are going to malfunction. Just like
Don't
I did right there.
Don't you fantasize about that though? Like you're in traffic on the 10 and then you're just like, if I could just fly, just like.
Yeah, and then everyone else is flying.
Yeah.
How many guys are going to be going to jail for manslaughter for, having a mouthy wife and just tossing her out at 1,800 feet? I fucking told you 3 times.
Well, I don't think you're going to need flying cars for traffic because and people, if you don't live in LA, maybe you think that driverless cars are some ways off, but we see Waymo every day here in LA, like many of them.
I hate it.
It's a driverless car. It's a car that comes to you. It's a Uber. It's not much less expensive than Uber. It's like 10% sometimes less expensive than Uber. So just enough to get you to choose it. And it's a driverless car.
When I see people in those cars, I'm like, you are a traitor to humanity.
It's coming.
Yeah, but
and the idea is that once all the traffic is automated, you'll probably have 1 or 2 lanes that are for people who still want to drive their outdated, monkey machines where they're behind the wheel. And then the other 2 lanes will be for Waymo, and they'll just be going 150 miles an hour. Just whoosh.
I think Johnny's right. Whoosh. But can you imagine, like in college, if you're like, guys, what are we doing this weekend? Hey man, let's road trip to Penn State. Yeah, but who's driving? Fuck that. We're taking Waymo. Let's put a keg in the back. Let's get 3 chicks.
Party bus. Have Waymo party bus, bro. Waymo party bus.
4-hour just beer orgy, and we'll take Waymo, the invisible driver. That would have been amazing.
That's assuming there's going to be kids. I mean, like nobody's having kids.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Yeah, they say that Generation Alpha is this next generation is like incredibly small compared to the millennial generation and Gen Z.
If you look at the millennial
guys, stop pulling out, dude.
Yeah, but I disagree, Sam. If you look at Gen Z, I think the IQ's dropped over the decades. I mean, it'd be good to just skip a generation and start over. There's something wrong with the sperm. I don't know if it's the water.
The air, the food,
the food, the water, I think
dirty electricity,
You just got kids that are like, we need to skip a generation, and we'll get it back. We'll get it back.
Well, I don't know, dude.
What's the deal with colleges too now? Like, there's such negativity around universities and colleges. Like,
you're just figuring that out, Howie.
But I don't pay attention to that. I'm trying to.
Dude, I think colleges have been instrumental in destroying women and destroying their programming them to go against their own biological drives.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing it right now. Like Howie and I are in our 50s. I know a lot of women my age that are just upset because they don't have a husband and they don't have kids. And
I don't know many chicks. I don't know many chicks in their 50s that are upset that they don't have kids.
I know. Well, then they're lying to you. Because I hear it all the fucking time.
I've been with my girl for 13 years, and she gets to hang around with my 2 biological kids. She gets to hang out with them, and she's like,
that's a little different, though.
She's like, thank fucking God I never had kids.
Yeah, I mean, well, if I saw your kids, I'd probably not want kids too. So
that's so rude. How dare you?
It's a joke. I met his sons. They're nice people. It was a joke.
To that.
No, dude, I'm not perfect either, so I love my kids, but
really?
I've had dude, you see it on social media all the time. They're complaining.
They're also saying that AI, and this I believe, they're saying in 10 years, you may not even need universities with AI. I mean,
People tell me that AI is going to come for plumbers and all that stuff. I don't know, unless we got full blown robots coming. It seems to be
Well,
like those.
that's the Elon future, yeah, with the robots. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look at how Howie's frozen.
All right, my back.
Yeah, there you go. That was the best freeze of all time. That's a great blooper.
You know what he looked like? How Sam? He looked like Macron when he first realized that he was on camera after his wife.
He just got smacked by his father trans husband.
Dude, I gotta get a haircut because this is a natural football.
Howie, enjoy it. Looks great.
You could drop a brick on my head, and I think I'd be okay.
Yeah, you're blessed to have all
fantastic
that hair.
Yeah, incredible hair.
Howie, you should go with cornrows. Grow it out and cornrow that shit.
Dude, that's what my girl
You get
said.
so many white bitches. You should have cornrows. If I had your hair, I'd be cornrowing it out the gate, bro. Bang.
Dude, I should get cornrows and just like rainbow it up for gay pride.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the business, how the changes in college basketball have destroyed that model is coming to a reckoning after this offseason has been the most bizarre season in basketball, especially of recruiting, football too. So now you're seeing college basketball teams turning to the European leagues, taking guys that have been professional for years and years. Like Carolina's got guys like 23 coming in.
Dude, Sam Bonaventure has that kid from California who's 6'9". He was sleeping in a car for 7 years. He's a 26-year-old freshman.
They have to have some kind of contracts or they're gonna destroy college basketball and football too.
Listen, I gave up caring about it.
Yeah, I do too. It's just
as long as there's a point spread, it's okay.
Well, my whole opinion is they destroyed it when they started taking all this money in for advertising and TV contracts. And then the universities and the coaches were keeping all the money, and the guys laying their bodies on the line were getting nothing. And what percentage of these guys go pro? Not a lot, dude. Not a lot. So if these kids in 4 years can make a couple mil and they're going to blow it, but at least they made it. At least they can say they made it. And I'm sorry, dude. It's like, I'm sorry, dude. It's like, if you're going to allow these colleges to make all this fucking money, then the kids, it's like, it's no longer amateur. Okay. You like rowing is amateur. There's not a lot of money in it. Those will be the amateur sports. The ones that get TV contracts are no longer amateur. And the real issue is, it's like, do you guys know that there's a fucking black female softball pitcher who got like an insane contract? Like she got like $1 million a year or even more than that. And it's like, okay, you're worth what people are willing to pay you. What, like, we're getting to the point where it's like, okay, what value do you get out of that?
She throws heat, though. She throws heat.
She throws heat, but it's like, where does that go? And now the biggest thing, and I think they're trying to destroy sports. I really do. They're starting a professional softball league, Major League Baseball, and that means SportsCenter is now going to have 5% more female sports highlights. Dude, there's a highlight going around on Twitter right now of a chick who bunted, and there were so many fucking mistakes on the play that she did a in the park home run off a bunt.
I saw that.
And everyone's like, this is electric. I go, is this a blooper or a highlight? I can't tell.
I can't believe they're dumb enough. They saw the WNBA, Major League Baseball, and was like, how could we have losses against our gains at the end of the year?
The craziest thing, it's like when new teams buy NBA teams, and you're like, okay, so there's some sort of money laundering going on with this, because there's no way you're hearing that they're losing $40 million a year. You're like, dude, we got to get in on this. We got to get in on this.
Could it be some kind of tax advantage, Howie, to just have that loss? How would that work? Is that possible?
I mean, yeah, but
be reinvesting the money, to be spending it rather than
let me ask you this: is the lingerie league still around?
Yeah, I don't know how that's not bigger. You know why? Because it's not all lesbians. That's why.
I knew a guy that owned the Las Vegas team. I met him at the Roosevelt when I was out in LA, and it was doing well the first couple of years. They were making money.
Yeah, because that was back when you couldn't get lingerie, hot chicks, girls next door taking
Yeah,
their
I've
titties
seen
out
so much
everywhere on the internet.
crotch now. It's like I'm tired. We're not meant to see this much crotch.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we're coming to the end of the show. We're going to go over to the elusive, the exclusive, where the bangers bang. That's right, the Cash Daddies.
I'm going to tell you.
Show.
I'm going to tell you right now. If you guys want a stock to buy, we talked about it. Palantir's at 132, and that pitch is breaking out. And now they can sit there and they can watch you snap off to cartoons at 5 a.m. They can watch you do that. Yeah. So you might as well make some money off of them. I mean,
I appreciate that, Howie. That's a good idea.
$132 a share. That
Johnny,
thing's-
would you go in on Palantir?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it. I might wait for it to dip a little more, but yeah, maybe.
If you love Howie Dewey, and we all do, you got to check out his YouTube channel.
Yeah, check out the YouTube channel. Tomorrow we are going live at 11 o'clock. I got Frank Lyons from Fox Sports.
Nice.
Horse racing. He was in Santa Anita for 20 years as a trainer. Now he's a bloodstock agent, and he's on Fox tomorrow. But I got him at 11 o'clock, and we're going over every horse in the
Howie,
Belmont.
have you ever thought talking to Luis J. Gomez about putting your show on his channel?
I have not. I got to call Robbie Bernstein. So maybe
I would
should
talk to them, dude. Get on there, dude. That would.
I think isn't what's his name on there?
KP.
KP.
Yeah, he's on there. I would.
He hit
I
me
think
up
that'd
the
be
other-
perfect for you.
He hit me up the other day. He's got a wild story about.
Yeah, he's great. We love him very much. And
Oh, he's
guys, if
great.
you love Sam Tripoli, and we know you do, go to samtripoli.com events, Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh, PA, San Diego, Boston, Brook. I'm going to try to do something with Howie in upstate New York, Kansas City, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and New Orleans. So check it out, guys. All right. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Cash Day. Sorry we missed last week. We hope you had a great weekend. Bang some fatties this week, and we love you very much. And we thank Copy My Crypto for sponsoring the show. We will see you all very soon. Till next week. Well, oh yeah, real quick, if you're a doom scroller, no show tomorrow. Sorry, guys. It is the Naked Farmer's birthday, so Midnight Mike will not be available. We'll pick it up next week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Ciao.